Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Joseph O'Brien. I'm very proud to be Executive Director of the Chester County Intermediate Unit. On behalf of the Chester County Intermediate Unit, the League of Women Voters, the Daughters of the American Revolution, and all of our elected legislators who are here today, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming to participate in our second annual Constitution Day celebration. Because this is an election year, we thought it appropriate to combine Constitution Day with our kids' voting kickoff ceremony. We certainly hope you enjoy it. Now, most people know that the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, 1776. But not everyone is aware that the Constitution was not signed until September 17th. September 17th in 1787. Quite a few years later. In recent years, there's been an effort to increase awareness of the importance of recognizing the Constitution in our nation's history. To support this effort, today we gather as a community to celebrate the formation and signing of the Constitution, which secured our American rights and the many freedoms we enjoy today. We recognize citizenship for all who were born in the United States, as well as to those who came through the United States through the naturalization process, making America the great melting pot it is today. I would like to give a special thank you to David Woods from Engaged Citizenship and Rebecca Brain, Communication Coordinators from Chester County Commissioner's Office, for helping us facilitate this important event. Rebecca and David, thank you so much for doing this. It's really becoming a great event. I would be remiss to not recognize the Constitution's importance to not only our nation's history, but to where we are today and where we are headed as a county, in addition to being as a country. The Kids Voting USA program focuses on developing the critical thinking and teaching children to gather and analyze information to make informed decisions, all skills that will serve our students well in future elections and beyond. To help us celebrate and note this activity today, we're pleased to welcome our guests from St. Agnes' School, East Coventry School. Oh, that's right, applause would be appropriate. Our Chester County Technical College High School student ambassadors, and our Chester County Student Youth Forum officers. Thank you, students. You're the reason we're here today, so we appreciate that. At this time, I would like to invite you all to please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Now to get today's celebration started, we have some special guests. I'd like to welcome the Pennsylvania 771 Air Force Junior ROTC from our Coatesville Senior High School for the presentation of the colors. Thank you for that dignified presentation. Next, please welcome the Henderson High School Chamber Choir from our Westchester Area School District as they perform our national anthem.
Broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still
Peace. Forward. March.
Thank you, Henderson High School. That was a beautiful performance. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to invite our own Senator Andrew Dinniman to say a few words and to recite the preamble to our Constitution. Senator Dinniman.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. That's the spirit. You know, we all should know the preamble by heart, but it reads, and you'll see it in the constitutions we gave you. It says, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America." We are that posterity, aren't we? When they put this in these words down, they hoped, but they weren't sure that there'd be a group of us, students and teachers here today, to recite this preamble. But it sums up what this nation's about. But in order to keep the nation strong, in order to keep democracy alive, in order that America continues to be the light on the hill for all to see when it comes to respect for people, when it comes to concern for our common humanity, we today are gathered on Constitution Day. Let me tell you that our Constitution, our form of government, will continue to be alive only if the citizens of this nation care. Only if the citizens of this nation get involved and become civically engaged. So we thank those who put this together. We thank all of you who are here today, because in one common voice as a nation, we are urging that civic involvement. Finally, if you take nothing else away from today, remember 10 simple words. If it is to be, it is up to me. You see, we are a government of the people and by the people. That means each of us, as a person who's part of the people, has to become and continue to be civically engaged. Can you repeat those words with me so we can hear them loud and clear as we affirm, we the people, as we affirm the Constitution of the United States? I'll say each 5 words and then join me. If it is to be, it is up to me. Thank you, and God bless this country and each of you. Thank you so much.
That sets our tone, Senator Dinniman. Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to invite the Honorable Carolyn Comida, who will speak, followed by our Chester County Commissioners who are here with us today, Kathy Gazzone and Michelle Kitchline. First, the Honorable Carolyn Comida.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning, and happy birthday to our U.S. Constitution. This is a day that we celebrate here in Westchester and Chester County, right here on our historic courthouse steps. And I am delighted to be a part of the birthday party. Thanks to all of the students who are singing, who are here, who have your flags and so on. So we just heard the preamble to the U.S. Constitution, and we know we're celebrating the U.S. Constitution today. I'm going to talk a little bit about voting and the Constitution, but I also want to let you know, although it was a different year for the Pennsylvania Constitution, Pennsylvania established its Constitution in 1874, and there is a copy of this that is on the table with the U.S. Constitution. So you can take home today your copy of the U.S. Constitution in white on the table there where the students are on my right, and then a copy of the Pennsylvania Constitution. I think it's important to remember that in addition to the original words of both of the constitutions, there are amendments. So the founders of our country and the writers of the Constitution said, here's how this country is going to be governed and how things are going to operate. And here are the jobs of different people. Then over time, they said, you know what, we need to add a few things. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the amendments that were added to the Constitution. My favorite amendment for the Pennsylvania Constitution is the Environmental Rights Amendment, which is Article 1, Section 28. And that was 1971. And that guarantees everyone in Pennsylvania a right to clean air and clean water. Also in 1971, a very good year, I was freshman in college that year, Pennsylvania ratified the Equal Rights Amendment, making sure that women had equal rights to men here in Pennsylvania. 1970, okay? Now, I think it's, since I'm talking specifically now about voting, and you may see I'm wearing a pink vote button. This is a button that is from the League of Women Voters. This is a bipartisan, nonpartisan group that promotes awareness and education about voting, voting rights, responsibilities, and their motto is, your vote is your voice. And so every election day, every voter speaks up and speaks out and votes. So what I want to make sure that you know is that a couple of amendments came along relative to voting, because when our Constitution, U.S. Constitution, was ratified, men had a right to vote. Not women, white men, not African Americans. So in 1870, Congress added an amendment that gave African Americans the right to vote. That was 1870. In 1870, women, white, black, any color woman, could not vote. 1920, we're coming up on the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote, and that was 1920. So we're going to have a big celebration for that. Back to 1971 again. I think this is interesting. Up until 1971, you could only vote when you turned 21. The Constitution was changed to allow young people age 18 and up to vote. So, how many of you were 18 here today? A handful. Well, and of course, there are some of us way over 18. Okay, so if you are 18, you can register to vote. You vote twice a year, every year, and you are called a super voter. Your vote is your voice. Many of us in this community have stories about winning elections by 1 vote, 2 votes. I won my election to the State House of Representatives by 25 votes in 2016. Thank you. You can applaud for yourselves because it was the voters that made a choice. That was less than 1 vote in each polling place, 30 polling places in my particular district here in Westchester. If one person in each polling place said, yeah, I don't think so, it's raining a little bit, sorry about that, then elections would turn out differently. So I want to thank you. I want to wish you happy birthday. Be a super voter, and I hope each of you will turn 18, register to vote, and speak out. Your vote is your voice. Thank you. And Commissioner Cazzone is up next. Oh, sorry. Commissioner Kickline, Chair of the Chester County Commissioners, with Commissioner Vice Chair Kathy Cazzone.
Thank you. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. It's good to see you guys here. This is, it's always good to see folks getting out of the classroom and learning really important things. And what you're learning about today is the most important right that you have, the right of the vote, as Representative Kmitta just said. But I want to tell you specifically a little history of why we're here. On September 17th in 1787, the delegates to the Constitutional Convention met for the last time to sign the documents they had created, the Constitution of the United States. We the people The preamble references the desire to create a more perfect union. Not a perfect union, but a more perfect union. It is said our founding fathers understood that while we'll never be perfect, it was important to always try to be more perfect. And that's something I guess we can all bring into our lives every day. None of us are perfect, believe me. The preamble to the Constitution was written during the Philadelphia Convention, now known as the Constitutional Convention, which met between May and September of 1787. This morning, we're placed right here on the steps of the Chester County Historic Courthouse. And I'd like to focus on one portion of the preamble: establish justice. When our founding fathers declared the desire for us as a country to establish justice, they were most likely referring to the lack of justice that was extended to the American colonies by Great Britain. It was one of the main reasons for the War of Independence. To establish justice then and now is to determine our rights and support laws that are fair to everyone. Chester County has been upholding justice for centuries on this very spot where we are sitting and standing today. Centuries of judges, of jurors, of prosecutors, and defenders have been ensuring that Chester County citizens, as American citizens, have the right to a fair trial and must follow laws that extend justice to everyone. We're not always perfect. But then the preamble to the Constitution didn't say we have to be perfect. We just have to strive to be more perfect every day.
Thank you, Commissioner. Well, good morning. And as Commissioner Kickline said, welcome to the historic courthouse in Chester County. So when it was written and made law in 1787, the United States Constitution became a great guide for us as American citizens. But as we as a nation changed and grew, so did the Constitution. As Representative Committa said, the changes to the Constitution are known as amendments, and many of the amendments affected the way we all vote. So I want to talk a little bit about that. The 12th Amendment, ratified in 1804, changed the way we vote for a president and a vice president. In 1868, the 14th Amendment defined and made clear many citizens' rights, including the right to vote. 2 years later, so in 1870, the 15th Amendment gave all men, let me repeat that, men, the right to vote regardless of race, color, or whether they had been slaves. 50 years later, in 1920, the 19th Amendment finally gave women the right to vote. But I want to stop there for 1 second. Nobody gave women anything. The suffragettes fought for women to have the right to vote. So I'm going to talk to all of you young ladies out there. It's only been since 1920 that we as women have had the ability to vote. There are 2 elections every single year. I'm entrusting our future to all of you, young ladies and young boys, to make sure that you vote. How many of you have seen Mary Poppins? You know that whole sort of funny, happy parade scene with the suffragettes? Yeah, that didn't happen. What happened was those women were arrested, they had food thrown at them, they were force-fed, and they were unwelcome in the community. So remember, we've only had the right to vote since 1920, ladies. I am asking you, I'm begging you to use that right that women before us fought for. So then in 1971, the 26th Amendment was ratified, changing the national voting age to 18. So why is voting so important? Why is the right to vote and who can vote been an important thread in constitutional amendments throughout our history? Because we are a democracy, and our democracy gives us all a right to be heard. If we don't vote, our voice isn't heard. And even though it may not seem to make a difference, as your vote is one in many, and I think Representative Committa explained to you how much of a difference it does make, it is so important that every one of us as a U.S. citizen casts our vote. Voting is how we choose the people who are going to represent us in government, our local government, our state government, and our national government. Voting is how we choose the people who work for the issues that we believe are important. So I encourage all of you to read about and learn about ideas and issues that are important to you long before you're 18, so that as soon as you are able, you can exercise the right to vote that the U.S. Constitution and its amendments has given to you, so that your voice can be heard. Congratulations on all of you for being here today, and remember to vote.
Well said. Thank you. I want to thank all of our honorable speakers, Senator Dinniman, Representative Carolyn Comita, Commissioners Kathy Gazzone, and Commissioners Michelle Kitchline. They all had a valuable message, the essence of which was protect our Constitution, be involved, vote, become an engaged citizen. Now we're going to have someone very special, because most of us weren't there. But we're going to have a chance now to welcome to the podium someone who should require no introduction to you, one of the founding fathers of the United States, a proud Pennsylvanian out of Philadelphia, Mr. Benjamin Franklin. Dr. Franklin.
Very kind. Thank you, sir. It's an honor.
The honor is mine. Thank you so much. That was a very nice introduction. So my name is Benjamin Franklin, and it is true, I admit to having played a very small part in crafting our United States Constitution, and I'm very happy to have to be here. And it's so wonderful that our speakers have spoken about voting, because today's celebration is kicking off our 2018 Kids Voting Program. Yes. So young people, all citizens have hopes and dreams for what they wish to see our great country become. I can tell you in a little bit about what our country was, but here today to share their wishes for what with us are the students of St. Agnes School, yes? And we're going to invite up our Senator Dinniman, yes, and our Commissioner Carzoni, and they are going to help you hang your wishes on the wishing tree. So, Senator and Commissioner and wishing tree. Where is the wishing tree, my young friend? I can't see that far. I invented bifocals, not long focals. Is this the wishing tree over here? All right, who has their wishes for the wishing tree? Excellent. If it starts to storm, I have a key we can attach to the end of this strange cord. All right. Hold on. All right, so first we're going to come up and read our wishes. So who has a wish for the wishing tree? Come on up, young lady. Let's see how long this cord goes. Tell us your wish.
I wish for honesty and honor to come upon our country's rulemakers and citizens, and for everyone to be guided to make good decisions and show compassion and kindness to everyone, no matter who they are, all the time.
I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. I apologize for the chuck. So, Senator, where's she going? No, you have to put your wish over here. No? All right. Who else has a wish? Come on up. What's that? Here she comes, young senator. There, she's going to the senator. All right, Commissioner, help her hang her wish. Come on up. Yes, that's all right. You too, in the green shirt. I'll tell you what, everybody who has a wish, come on up here and stand on the stairs. Everyone who brought a wish. Perfect. This will make this go much faster. Who else has a wish? Anyone over here? This is much more interesting. I'm very oh, and tell us your name. I know your name already. Your name is Sarah. Sally. What is your name? Abby. I was so close. This is Abby.
My wish is to stop bad behavior.
Stop bad behavior. Excellent. Go to the commissioner. Young sir.
Hi.
You have two wishes?
Should I share two?
Yeah. Tell them your name.
I'm Johnny, and my wish for America is to help people and animals who are less fortunate.
Do you have another wish?
Yes. My wish for America would be to keep America clean by reducing pollution and not littering.
Those are great wishes. I love animals. I have a pet skug.
Hi.
I won't bump you on the head.
Hi, my name is Nola. I want to stop racism because it's been going on for a while now, and it still is not completely stopped. I want to stop racism because it is not right.
Excellent. I absolutely agree. Hello, young lady.
My name is Lily, and my wish is for America to be peaceful.
Peaceful.
My name's Aubrey, and my wish is for no more smoking.
Wait, what?
For no smoking.
No smoking. Good idea. People smoke still? That seems... Oh, you took off your red coat for me. Thank you, Carter.
My name is Carter, and I wish for people to stop bullying.
To stop what?
Bullying.
Bullying. Stop. Not good bullying. Stop bullying. Carter doesn't like bullying.
My name is Graham, and I want to end child abuse.
That is a very good idea.
My name is Sarah, and I would like to get rid of straws because it's hurting our wildlife.
Get rid of what?
Straws.
Straws. Oh, because they're made out of plastic. That's Sarah. I have a daughter named Sarah.
My name is Tyler.
That's not my daughter.
My name is Tyler, and I wish for more unity.
More unity. That is very important.
My name is Margaret, and I wish that we can reduce the amount of plastic bags we use.
Very good idea.
My name is Martina, and I wish for more peace.
Good wishes. These are good wishes, my young friends.
My name is Sage, and I wish we could pay attention to people in need.
Very inspiring.
My name is Ashlyn, and I wish for equality for everyone.
Thank you, Ashley.
My name is Stella, and I wish for all enslavement to end.
Still going on.
My name is Ryan, and I wish for America to care for each other.
Thank you, Ryan. Is that your real hair? I asked if that's your real hair. You asked me earlier.
My name's Harry. I wish that someday that everyone in our country will like each other no matter what color, skin, or race you are.
Wonderful. These are wonderful. I've learned a lot just now. People, good. Plastic, bad.
My name is Ellie, and I want people to do what is right for the world, not right for them.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well put. Very poetic. Any other wishes? Was that all the wishes? Wonderful. That was. I turned on. There we are. It's all right. It works by electricity, so I understand how. Thank you. It's so nice to hear from our representatives, but there's nothing, I think, more meaningful than hearing from those who come after us. That was very heartfelt, and I want to thank you all. The wishes from St. Agnes. Today's kid voting participants, we hope, will become tomorrow's not just voters, but engaged citizens. That's really what voting is engaging and shaping our future. So now we are going to hear from 4 of our future voters, and they are going to give us testimonials, personal, from what it means to be a citizen of the United States. So I'm going to invite all 4 of them. I think they're right over here. We have Noah Haggerty from Downingtown West High School. We have Sarah Proud, an ambassador from TC High School Brandywine. We have Dean Gelling from Downingtown STEM Academy, and Divya Samant, right, Divya? And she is a skills officer, also from TC High School, and this one's in Pickering. So I think we are going to begin with young Noah. Is that right? Good day, young Noah.
Thank you, Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, very well.
First, I'd like to thank everyone who helped to make this incredible event possible. Organizers, all of the students, active citizens, and our representatives from both sides of the political aisle. With the signing of the U.S. Constitution 231 years ago today, the great American experiment began, where the voices of the citizens always carried louder than the corrupt and power-hungry. However, America was still not perfect, and our founders knew this. They gave us the opportunity to create the country we wish to live in and set an example for the rest of the world. For 231 years, we've done just that and worked to improve and perfect our society based off of the ideals our Constitution put forth. We constantly strive for justice, tranquility, and liberty for all of our citizens. And we, as citizens, often get into heated debates on how we can obtain these and what these ideals really look like. We often seem to think that the other side believes the polar opposite of us. However, we all share the common goal of reaching our constitutional ideals as a nation and working to build the best nation we can for all of our citizens and our successors. As a student, I cannot think of a better example of this than at my own high school, Downingtown West, this past March. In response to the Parkland school shooting, 1,000 students at my school walked out of their class to protest school gun violence. We all agreed that this unimaginable hate and violence had to stop, but we did not agree on how to make this happen. Some believed gun reform is the best solution. Some believed armed security officers could fix the problem. Some argued that the neglect of mental health issues was causing it, and some believed in a combination of all of these. It's safe to say that we disagreed, but we were all just trying to make change and work to make the American experiment a little bit better for all of us. And at its core, that's what it means to be an American citizen. Being able to protest the injustice we see in a society that encourages activism, voting, and standing up for what we believe in, to slowly inch towards our goal of reaching our constitutional ideals. True American citizens participate in the American experiment not out of the hate they hold against others, but out of the love for their country and its people. At my high school, since we cannot yet vote, we use this love to contribute to our democracy in the best way we know how to, by making our voices heard. I encourage all of you to make your voices heard, and for older people to register to vote and go to the polls in this next election as a true American citizen, and out of your love for the country and the American experiment, make your voices heard by voting this November. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Noah. Thank you. That was very meaningful. Thank you. Sarah, please.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Sarah Proud, and I'm a student at Technical College High School, Brandywine campus. I stand before you today to speak of citizenship. This past weekend, I was struggling with the words defined today. When faced with a challenge, I did what most people in this generation would do. I Googled the definition. Google told me that a citizen is, and I quote, a legally recognized or subject or national of a state or commonwealth, either native or nationalized. I wasn't happy with this definition. In my eyes, a citizen is much more than that. I found this definition too impersonal for me. In my eyes, a citizen is someone who uses their rights to the fullest extent they can. A citizen is a person who stands up for what they believe in. A citizen is someone who respects others and what they believe in, even if they don't agree. Good citizens in this country understand that not every American comes from the same place. We all have different backgrounds and different stories. I believe that these backgrounds and these stories help form culture that is found in every American community today. Citizenship is just not where you come from, but it's who you are. I hope that we as a society can look beyond the textbook definition of what Google told me a citizen is. I hope that we continue to stand up for what we believe in. I hope that we as a community can come together and understand what true citizenship is. Because if we do that, is what changes, influences, and moves America forward day by day. Thank you all for letting me share my thoughts and beliefs on what citizenship really means.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Dean, please.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin. Hello, and good morning, everyone. My name is Dean Gelling. I'm 17 years old, and I'm a senior at the Downingtown STEM Academy. I go by many titles: a student, a son, and a leader. I'm a language learner, a change maker, and a globetrotter, but above all, I'm an American citizen. As a secretary of the Chester County Student Forum, I was asked to speak to you today on behalf of those whom I represent, the next generation of American citizens who will go on to shape the future of this great nation. I was asked one fundamental question: what does it mean to be a citizen? To be a citizen is to serve a cause far greater than your own, to aid fellow Americans in the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. In a world as politicized and polarized as our own, it is important that we not lose sight of these values. If we as a society are to prosper, we must respect ourselves, the views of one another, and the system under which we are organized. Americanism at its core is far more than a star-spangled banner. It is a foundation forged on the legacies of those who created and continue to protect it, upon which pillars of liberty, equality, and opportunity support common goals of peace, prosperity, and advancement. The late Senator John McCain stated that we live in a land made of ideals, not blood and soil. We are the custodians of these ideals at home and their champions abroad. I encourage my fellow students as stewards of this ideology to participate and engage, to listen and be heard, as in a community built by the people, for the people. To be heard is to be represented, and to be represented is to be valued, a voice among the chorus of this great nation. To champion the American ideals abroad is a challenge that we as Americans have faced for centuries, and it's a facet of my role as a citizen that holds great significance. To encourage our neighbors, children, and community to honor the values that unite us is one thing, but to project a positive image of our country to the international community is quite a different challenge, and I fear that it's a mission that we've lost sight of. To be a steward is to lead by example, and as with any great leader, we have the responsibility to seek to understand those that we lead. This is why I advocate so strongly for foreign language education and cultural learning. The children of this country are growing up in a world that is more interconnected and global than ever before, with communication at its center. I urge parents, educators, and our policymakers here with us today to understand the value of foreign language education and the importance of cultural exchange. To serve the American cause, both at home and abroad, one requires compassion and understanding. For me, a student of English, German, Korean, Chinese, and French, no endeavor has taught me to be more compassionate or understanding than learning to communicate in a foreign language. To be a citizen is to understand your part in the communities that extend beyond your immediate horizons. Language and appreciation for foreign cultures has given me the tools to do exactly that. So on this Constitution Day, I hope that we as an American people reflect upon not only the impact that those 7 articles and 27 amendments have had at home, but the implications that they've held abroad. Let our dedication to these values guide us in navigating a global future, and let us provide our children with the tools they need to be champions of those values. Thank you.
Well said. Very articulate. And Divya, please come.
Hi, everybody. My name's Divya, and I'm here as a student from the Chester County Intermediate Unit's Technical College High School. Like my peers, I was asked to speak about what it means to be a citizen. It was challenging for me to find an answer that really addressed the depth of that question. My first thought was that there were too many facets of citizenship to really define with a clear-cut answer. I sat at my laptop and I examined every corner of Google, and I searched for all these articles with all the right keywords, and I finally reached the conclusion that my initial reaction embodies my answer the most. I'm a first-generation American. That means I'm the first person in my family to be born in the United States of America. Okay. I was actually born right here in Westchester. So naturally, the responsibility of citizenship means a multitude of things to me. I'm not only a citizen of the United States of America, I'm a citizen of my local community, of my schools, of my student unions. I think the true meaning of citizenship goes beyond registering to vote and participating in elections. Being a citizen extends to being aware of local affairs. What are your neighbors, coworkers, your peers and friends doing to solve problems in your community? And how can you contribute? It means volunteering at your nearby homeless shelter, at animal shelters, at your local library. Being a citizen can also mean speaking up for the underserved populations around you. It can mean reaching out to your representatives in your capacity as a constituent and talking to them about the changes you want to see in the future. It goes beyond legal documents and political ideologies. Frankly, its meaning can't be reduced to mere legal parameters, because across this country, its definition stretches much farther than paperwork. At the beginning of this discourse, I said I'm here to tell you what it means to be a citizen. And I continued in a roundabout way to tell you I don't really know. I mentioned my abundance of Google searches, and as I wrote this, I learned that the meaning of citizenship can't be confined to the first 12-word internet search that pops up. I suppose what I'm trying to say is I can't tell you what it means to be a citizen, because to every person residing across this vast, diverse nation, the word citizenship elicits a different definition. The real meaning of citizenship is solely what you make of it, and reflected in the contribution you make towards the institutions, the issues, and the people around you. So I want to leave this podium with a single question for everyone standing here. How will you define citizenship? Thank you for your time.
Wonderful. Thank you all. Divya, thank you so much. Noah, Dean, Sarah, thank you so much. Very soon you will be voting, and we thank you for that. And your vote counts, and the first step to casting your ballot is registering to vote. So today we are going to symbolically register to vote, and we have the TCHS ambassadors, and we have their sign, and I believe we're going to hold it up. Come on back here. Where are the TC? Yes, here they are. Oh, I like your cravat. And you're going to hold the sign, take the sign from young Jay, and oh no, she's going to hold it, and you're going to sign it. Ooh, a Sharpie. All right, tell me your name.
Jeremy.
Jeremy is going to register to vote. Sign it. Me. Perfect. And tell us your name.
Fernanda.
Fernanda? It's like a little poem. There goes my notes. Thank you so very much. And some others are standing over here. You're going to register to vote? Come on over here. Hand them your Sharpie. Tell me your name.
Mara.
Mara. That won't take long. Because it's a short. Ben, 3 letters. What is your name, young lady?
Lizzie.
Lizzie. I have a sister named Elizabeth. Thank you. Hold on, I have to pick up my papers. You want to see something funny? Watch a 312-year-old man bend over and pick up things. What is your name, young lady?
Anna.
Anna. Well done. Young sir, what is your name?
Wade.
Wade, thank you so much. So this is a voter certificate of registration, but this is symbolic. This means that they're promising or making a firm commitment that when they turn 18, they're going to really register to vote. All of us are. Thank you. I know it's just going to blow away again. Well, I thought it was the funniest part of the morning. What is your name?
Carly.
Hello, Carly. I like your frock coat. Thank you, Carly. Excellent. And what is your name?
Paula.
Hello, Paula. I'm Ben. Paula. Excellent. Now, well, thank you very much. I think we can honestly say that these group of young people have not only symbolically signed this voter registration, but for all of us, they have done that. So we are all going to remember when we turn 18 years old to register to vote. Thank you all very, very much. So I have been invited to say, we've all been talking about the future. And this has been very interesting to me. You said women got the right to vote in 1920? I was fighting for women's rights to own property and testify in court. I'm very sorry to hear that it took so long. I'm glad that such rights eventually came to us. I was actually invited. Would you like to sing a song now? I would like you to sing a song. I was actually invited to read a speech at the end of the Constitutional Convention, and I was too ill to go and do it, and so I I had a friend of mine read it instead, and then the man who had originally been crafting the Constitution wrote down what my friend Mr. Steele said that I had planned on saying, and he left out all of my jokes. So I'm not going to read that, but I will say this. The Constitution was written by a group of people. We stood in a room, we came from all over the country, and we disagreed about everything. And not one of us in that room, and I know somebody mentioned this, was perfect. And the document we created is not perfect. And it never will be, because it requires that to say a government, not a document, but a government, a country, a society, requires not just how you create it, but how you run it, how you administer it. And so this country can only succeed as if it is well administered, and it can only be well administered if it is done so without corruption, and that can only come from all of us watching all of the people running the country. When I was a young man, when I was your age, we didn't have much say in the government. We were run in what we called a despotism. A despot ran our country, a king from far away. And we fought very hard to end this rule by a foreign king, and then we were successful. I didn't fight very hard. I was in France raising money. But still in all, together, we came together under General Washington, and we helped to create this new country. And it took another, 11 years, 14 years. 14, how old are you, young man? You, right there. 13 years. So if you had been born in 1776, the year we wrote the Declaration of Independence, it's been your entire life. And we still haven't gotten to this point, to September 17th, 1787. It was a long struggle. It was a lifetime of struggle. And it is nice to see that it continues. Now, ultimately, though I did have some reluctance, I consented to our Constitution. I found it to be as close to a perfect document as we, imperfect men, were willing to create, were able to create. And I will tell you why. There's really three things, and then I'll move on and we'll hear from someone with far more beautiful voices than I. There are really three things about this Constitution that I very much appreciate and admire. One, firstly, it's short. It's a nice, short, concise document. And when I say that, it leads right to number two, which is it's just an instruction booklet. It's just as if, I love to go swimming. I'm a rather avid swimmer. Does anybody else here have an activity like a sport that you love? What is your favorite sport, young man? Fencing. Are there rules to fencing? Is there an instruction booklet on how to fence? Yes. And have you read that instruction booklet? Yes. You were hesitant. You read most of it, but you have learned the rules from your coach. For fencing, that's like stabbing people with a sword, isn't it? You stay over on your side of the stairs. So you've read most of it, but you don't break the rules. That's the Constitution. Do you have a favorite sport, young lady? What is it? Softball. Have you ever read the instruction book? You don't all have to. You want to all tell me your favorite sports? Oh, all right. Everybody, on the count of three, tell me your favorite sport. 1, 2, 3. I heard that. Didn't you hear that? She didn't say anything, but everybody else had a favorite. So have you ever sat down and read the instruction booklet on softball? No, but you know how to play softball. That's the Constitution. That is what we did. We created just a booklet. Here's how a government runs. Does anybody know why here in the United States of America we elect the president every 4 years? I know. It's in the Constitution. And that comes to the third and best part. It is, and some people have mentioned this, it is amendable. Amendable. I'm sure you know what amendable means. You don't know what amendable means. Amendable. We can change it. That's all it means. Do you think that your government today, your country, should be run exactly the same way it was run in my day? We all had to walk around wearing stockings. You don't all have to walk around wearing, it wasn't in the Constitution, but you get the idea. It was going to change. It's been 200 years. And so that's what amendable means. That's what they were talking about. We have changed the Constitution 17 times. We added an entire next part called the Bill of Rights, and then we added 17 more changes. So that is what I love about this document. It is short, we can change it, and I don't remember the second one. So, I just want to leave you with one more idea. And that is, and I think every one of you already knows this, and certainly every one of the wishes is about this. We are interested today not in our personal gains, not in what each of us will accomplish, but today we are talking about public spirit. All of us together. And that is really the key to the Constitution. It works when we all work for it. So, oh, thank you very much. So, on the very last day of the Constitutional Convention, I was sitting in the back of the room, and the president of the Constitutional Convention was sitting up front, facing all of us. Does anybody know who the president of the Constitutional Convention was? George Washington. And General Washington had been sitting there, and he was in actually the same chair that 14 years earlier John Hancock had been sitting in. And this was a lovely carved chair. It's still sitting there at the State House in Philadelphia called Independence Hall. And on the back of the chair is a carving of a sun. And I turned to a friend of mine and I said, you know, I've been looking at that chair. This was 1787. I said, I've been looking at that chair for 11 years. And I've always wondered, as we entered this war for independency, whether that would be a setting sun or a rising sun. And it was at that moment, on September 17th, 1787, that I finally was able to say with great certainty that we were looking at a rising sun, at the beginning of a new age. And to this day, you can go into Independence Hall and you can see the rising sun chair, the chair where John Hancock began our revolution, where George Washington helped us all create a new country. And you can say it rose, and the United States of America has been here for all these centuries hence. Thank you very much, my young friends.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a nice round of applause for our friend, Dr. Benjamin Franklin? Not just for his contributions all those many years ago, but for his inspirational words today, okay? Remember those three things, that it's an instruction manual, that it's short, and that it's meant to be changed, and it's also meant to be lived. Can we also ask you to join in a round of applause for our elected officials who are here today? They came because they agree with Dr. Franklin. They are here to serve the people. So before we break, let me acknowledge some more special people who are here today. We have Karen Christian, Barbara Wheeler, and Nancy Drummond, who are members of the Chester County chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. So Dr. Franklin, they have been following you for a long time. In 1920, you heard that women got the right to vote. Right around that time, we established another great group, the League of Women Voters, and today representing them, we have Barbara Latham, Elaine Friedlander, and Sandra Scholl. Thank you for being here. They have tables here. And on behalf of Chester County Intermediate Unit and the Engaged Citizenship Initiative, we appreciate everyone who came out on this beautiful day to celebrate the rich history and future of our nation. We especially thank our students, once again, from St. Agnes School, East Coventry School, Chester County Technical College High School. You heard Downingtown West, Henderson High School, the Student Forum officers. Basically, many of the school districts in Chester County are represented here today, and you are, as Dr. Franklin and our commissioners noted, the future of our nation. So we thank you for being with us. We hope that these celebrations today will generate the informed voters of tomorrow, but will also serve as an example to inspire your parents, your friends and family members to become engaged, informed, and active citizens. Before we go, I'd like to invite back the wonderful group from Henderson High School Chamber Choir one more time as they perform a very fitting song, America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber rays of grain, for purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on me, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriotry that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, wonderful job. Ladies and gentlemen, last thing, this is the end of our program, but the students who are here today, we would like you to invite all of you down. We have lots of Sharpies, as Dr. Franklin noted, for you to sign the preamble of the Constitution, because as this states, you are we the people. So we have Sharpies available for you to come down and sign the preamble, and this will be on display. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you everyone who participated.